Hello and welcome to this guided journey. Today we'll be journeying through the fourth or heart chakra. The chakras are energetic centers, part of our larger subtle anatomy, and they come from the ancient Indian tradition. To be balanced in our chakras is to be balanced in mind, body, and spirit. For this journey, there's really nothing that you need. If you'd like, you can prepare your space, get yourself comfortable. If you have headphones and you'd like to put those on to make this um, more of an inward personal experience, please feel free to do so. If it feels safe and comfortable to close your eyes or soften your gaze, you could do so. Taking a moment to check in with yourself. Notice what's present. Feeling first into the body, into your emotions. Noticing what's present in the mind. And then noticing your breath. Where do you feel it the most? Perhaps inviting your breath to deepen, lengthening your inhale, lengthening your exhale. And then again, asking yourself, where do you feel the breath the most? Fixing your attention there. Maybe it's at the belly, maybe it's at the nostrils. Inviting this to be an anchor point. At any point in time, you can bring your awareness back to this anchor of the breath in the body to center and ground yourself in the present moment. Now allowing the breath to be present and to be part of your experience and your awareness, but also bringing your attention now up to the area of the third eye, the area between the brows. And with your visualization skills, I ask that you begin to imagine a door, perhaps noticing if this door is decorated in any specific way. As you take steps closer to the door, you notice that it's not just any door. Above it, you see numbers. Next to it, you see buttons. And you realize that it's an elevator door. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. You step forward, press a button to open the door. As the doors part, you step inside, turn, and allow the doors to close. You press the button to the side of the door, bringing you to the fourth floor. As you travel down, 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 you go further and further into yourself. Finally, arriving at your destination. The elevator comes to stillness and the doors part. You step out into a space that is a lush green oasis. You find yourself in a foyer, in an area that connects multiple doorways to different spaces. And in this foyer, a sign hangs above you that says love and balance. As you read this, you feel yourself exhale and settle. You suddenly feel that this space is a space that many souls have visited before you. Souls who are exploring their basic right to love and be loved. On a pursuit of compassion, love, empathy, self love, altruism, peacefulness, and balance. You feel the body animated, sense of anticipation, a draw as you move closer to the first room. You step through the door and enter into a space. And above you and hangs a sign that says development. And as you take in the sights around you, you realize that the room is filled with physical representations of your development between the ages of 4 and 7. All memories tied to the formation of your relationships with others, with friends, with family, the development of your persona. You might see images that are joyous. You might see images that are painful. You notice the formation of your social identity, moments in time where you began to explore yourself in relationship with others. And as you stand here, you feel your chest, the center of your chest, the area of the heart chakra, flooded with feelings of warmth and love and compassion, also with grief and loss. And you notice that within this space holds foundational moments, moments that created a ripple effect, moments of love, safety, moments of rejection, abandonment, that in some way molded you and brought you to where you are today. You might notice some moments that are more impactful than others, maybe positively, maybe negatively. You look around the room and select an image, a physical depiction of something that you experienced that has been in some way blocking you, keeping you from being your fullest, most loving, most compassionate, and balanced self. You gather up that moment in time and bring it over to the corner of the room. And in the corner of the room, there's an air tunnel, a tunnel that leads upward as air gushes from down up to a space that you cannot see. There's a small doorway. You open that tiny door and pass into it, that physical depiction of your experience, and allow it to be carried upward by the air, by the wind, and taken away, no longer able to impact you. Taking a moment to feel what you feel, to notice what's present in your body. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. Knowing that all of your experiences will forever remain part of you, allowing this part to become integrated, to become balanced within you. As you released it into the air, it no longer has power over you. Instead, you have the power to choose how you relate to it. Taking a moment to reflect, to notice if there's anything else within this space that's calling for your attention. When you feel complete, you turn back and walk towards the foyer. You see another door and you decide to go through it. And in the next space, you feel, as soon as you walk in, a heaviness that sits on your chest. Looking above, you see a sign that says grief. You feel for a moment the weight of all the grief that you have not yet allowed yourself to fully feel or to integrate. Taking deeper breaths to support yourself here. It feels like you can't fully breathe, if you feel the weight of your grief is restricting you, come back to your breath and come back to your body. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Breathe into the chest, and as you breathe, imagine more space and more space and more space being created here. And you feel a sense of safety and support. If every person you've ever loved, every person that has your highest good in mind is giving their energy to you to support you in wading through this river of grief. Maybe this room is filled strictly with energy and with emotion, or maybe you see physical depictions hung up on the walls of all the moments of loss, rejection, abandonment, of goodbyes, of lost opportunities. Whatever it is that you're grieving, allowing yourself to really settle into a knowingness that grief is not just loss, does not just come from loss of a person or a relationship. We can grieve so many different things. The pain that wells up, the sadness that wells up over the things that you didn't do, or the things that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to. Of experiences that you should have had and didn't get to have. All of those moments of grief, allow them to be seen. Give them each your full attention, not stuffing them down, allowing them their space. Rather than pushing them away. Imagine lovingly welcoming them into your heart, welcoming each moment of grief. Perhaps it's just grief as a whole, welcoming it into your heart, feeling the weight, pain, at the same time knowing that it is the ability to feel grief that also gives you the ability to feel deep, beautiful, meaningful love. And without one, we cannot have the other. Trusting that with each moment, each experience of grief comes a lesson, a growth, a deepening of your heart. Placing both hands over the center of your chest. And if you can, sending love to your grief, sending gratitude to your grief, allowing the dark, heavy energy of your grief to be transformed as it is experienced. You feel the weight on your chest begin to lighten, allowing whatever feelings, emotions, expressions, movements that want to come, come. Let your body move if it wants to move. Allow tears to flow if they want to flow. Allow the grief to move rather than to stay stuck in your heart. Use your breathing to help move the stuck energy. And continue to send love to your grief. Send love to yourself. And once the grief has passed, maybe it doesn't pass. Maybe it just lessens slightly. Or maybe the energy doesn't even lessen, but you simply start to shift your relationship to it. Once this begins to occur, pause and notice. Notice the ripple effect of grief. How it's not just grief, how it is connected so intimately to our ability to love, our ability to be with fear, our ability to empathize with others, to have compassion for others, to have compassion for ourselves. Trust that in relating in a healthy way to your grief, that you in turn will become open on deeper levels. The ways that you relate to others, and the ways that you feel your feelings, and the ways that you love. Trust that additional doors will open as you sit with your grief. And if touching into the grief becomes too much, simply stand at the threshold. Allow yourself to go back to the doorway and stand in the doorway and know that you now have an access point. And over time, you might take one step closer or one step closer. You might take a step in and take a step out of the doorway that brings you to the room of grief. You might stand forever in that doorway, just observing. But to be with and to observe in this way is so much better than pushing it down. So allow yourself to be with it in whatever way you can. Maybe that's diving in, maybe it's not. Maybe it's standing at the doorway. Trust yourself to know that trust yourself to guide your own experience, to create the experience that is in your highest good. And when you're ready, departing the room of grief, returning to the foyer, and visiting the final room. As you step into the room, you see a soft and supportive green chair. And you sit down in it. Landing in the support of that green chair, your hands rise up to your heart, stacking one on top of the other, taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. You feel the energy of your heart. You feel the beauty of your own heart. Imagining what your heart would look like if you could see it, not the anatomical heart, but this representation, this center of love and compassion and friendship. And if you look at your heart and you see that it's battered or bruised or scarred, trust that the cracks are a blessing, because that's where the light comes in. With your hands placed over your heart, send love to yourself, the unconditional love. The unconditional love that you deserve. Sending love to yourself in this moment. Sending love to yourself at a time in your life when you really could have used the love that you didn't receive. Sending love to yourself as a child. To the inner child that's with you now. And with your hands over your heart, say to yourself, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of love. I am loving to myself and others. I am worthy of love. Feel a sense of warmth in the center of your chest. Allow this love to grow and to fill you. And as this warmth floods your body from head to toes, you feel with it a sense of self acceptance, as well as acceptance of others. You allow yourself to rest here for a moment, bathing in the glow of your own love and your own acceptance. Feel your heart open and any walls that you've built up around your heart to fall away. You can stay here for as long as you'd like, just being with this experience. And when you're ready, getting up from the chair, exiting this room and returning to the foyer. Pausing, noticing what you feel in your body. Noticing if you feel any different now than you did when you began. Taking inventory of what you're leaving behind and what you're taking with you. When you're ready, you step towards the elevator door once again. Press the button, allow the doors to open, and step inside. As the doors close behind you, you press the button that brings you to the very top floor. The doors open again, and you step out. Pausing again, allowing yourself to move towards the end of this journey. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. When you're ready, taking in the physical location that you're in through your senses, feeling the seat beneath you, noticing the sounds that fill your space. And only when you're ready, blinking your eyes open and fully returning. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon.